Hello guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here. Today's date is June 10th, 2021. It's a crazy time to be in the cryptocurrency world. Things have dropped off a lot. They bounced up a lot. They dropped down a little bit. They've been consolidating and now we're having this bounce back up. Is it going up to 40K, 50K, 60K, or is it going to drop down to 24K? No one really knows, but we can use technical analysis to get a better picture of the market. Personally, I went back in with about 40 to 50% of my portfolio into Bitcoin once it reached 31,000 because that was the low, and I shared that in my group, both in the free chat and in the VIP. So if you're not a part of the free chat in the Discord group, I'll have a link below in the description. And if you want even more trades like altcoin trades and short trades and things like that, then join the VIP because we have been absolutely crushing it, especially with things like Matic and Cardano and just a whole bunch of other stuff. Although I did close off a couple of my shorts early because I was like, oh no, I didn't know if we're gonna go up or down, but we still made profit on them. So that's all that really matters, right? And we didn't lose money because when you're trading as a trader, the main thing that you wanna do is conserve capital, get your profits. And I have noticed that a lot of people, they take the saying, which is a very good saying, which is as a trader, you want to preserve your capital. And they take that and then they say, oh, I'm going to sell at the low, or I'm going to sell. And they end up selling basically after a huge drop to conserve their capital. But obviously that's not the time to sell like everything, after a big drop. You conserve your capital by taking profits on the way up, and you conserve your capital by getting out on the bounces. But after something's dropped, it's usually not the best time to take everything out. Like you don't want to get out of the lows is what I'm saying. But this is common knowledge. And if you want to know more about that, you could take the course, or you could join the VIP, or you could join the group, or look at even my free videos. I have a ton of free videos. I'm going to be putting out a lot more free content for you regarding technical analysis, fundamental analysis, good coins that I'm in, even small cap coins. Hint, one of them is Woo Trade. I absolutely love it. I think it's the killer coin, and just a whole lot. And so the other thing that I want to say is that I did get to go to Bitcoin 2021 in Miami. It was amazing. I had an incredible time. I had a blast. I met so many people. I met a ton of big TikTok influencers. Very, very cool. So I'm going to be pushing so hard, so hard on TikTok. And also what I'm going to be starting to do is I'm going to be starting to go live on here and on Twitch, because apparently there are not a lot of people that are in the cryptocurrency space that are on Twitch, and people love to just give out like prizes and money and stuff like that on Twitch. So I'm super stoked about that. Also, I want to be putting out as much content as I possibly can to get deals and to do everything that you can do as a content creator. It's just, I haven't really been putting out so much marketing stuff strictly because I'm a trader. I make all my money trading cryptocurrencies. I don't make my money off my courses. I don't make my money off of my VIP group. I make my money off of my trades. That is first and foremost. It's not even a comparison. So I haven't been like marketing so much, but I really want to start marketing because obviously I want people to succeed, and I want to, inform people with as much good information as I possibly can. And along with that, since I had such a good time in Miami, I actually met another person. A while back, but he came out to Miami, and we basically decided that we're gonna move there. He's gonna help me out with Crypto Elite, be sort of like my assistant / business partner, whatever you want to call it. And we're gonna move into a place together and just start pushing out as much amazing content as possible. So with saying that, let's get to this market update. This one's going to be a quick one. I'm going to do the overall, and then I'll do Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a couple other ones. I'm in a Matic short right now, but I have a feeling that I need to close this short out because things might pump up just a tad. So we're going to start off with the big picture stuff. So the big picture stuff, first thing that I always look at is the MVRV score. And this is, it's crazy. Like I just give this stuff out, but this is something that is used to know when the best time to buy and sell in the overall market conditions is. Once it reaches this pink area, that's when things start getting a little worrisome. Once it reaches this red area, that's when it's like, okay, you need to start taking profits big time. And you could see that it reached the pink area and then fell, but it never reached this area. And this is the area that I was like, thinking, okay, I'm gonna sell a lot in this area. Never reached it. Came all the way back down and crashed all the way back down. Very similar to how it came up here and then crashed all the way back down. But you know what? This is still pretty good because it's literally like it's so far down that it's almost to the green zone where you should buy it. And I'm not even sure if it'll get to the green zone, to be honest. This might be the bottom somewhere around here. I mean, we're about 45% down from the tops right now, from the absolute top. So yeah, it's not the worst place to buy right now, even, just averaging in. I highly recommend averaging in. So this chart, it tells us this, and we could see that it's at a decent place. It's not the best place, but it's definitely much lower. It looks like, if you had to take 0 to 100, from 0 to 100, it looks like this is about 20 or maybe 30%. And this, well, I mean, it says right here 0 to 100 if 100 is the very, very top, and it's at around 20%. So there's an 80% upside, chance of upside 80%, chance of downside 20%. Good time to buy in according to this chart. The next thing that I look at is the rainbow chart. And this is basically a chart that was plotted out. I'm pretty sure it was a joke, but it turned into a real thing. And it doesn't matter if something's a joke or not. I mean, look at Dogecoin and what that did. It did 140x. So, yeah, I look at these things. And so let me just put this like this. So you could see that the bottom is basically a fire sale. Once it got to around 4,000, 3,500 back in 2020, that was a fire sale. And same thing when it was at $3,200, $4,000 back in 2019, that was a fire sale. Like anytime it goes into the blue, that's an automatic buy. Like if it goes into blue, like I'm gonna freaking do everything I can to make it to get as much money as possible and buy it. I don't think it's gonna reach the blue again. I don't think that this was the top. I really don't. I believe that this area is similar to how this happened in 2013. It reached the top, came back down, and then popped back up after it hit the yellow. I think that this hit this sell or FOMO intensifies price. Came back down, and now it's in the still cheap price, and I'm pretty sure it'll pop back up from here. That's my opinion. It possibly might go down a little bit more to like 24K, but right now it's looking pretty decent, to be honest. So that's this chart. I mean, you really can't say, oh, this is super bullish. Like you can't say, oh, this is super bullish because of this. All you could say is that it's at a decent price. That's all you can really say when it comes to this. You could say this is a decent price to average in, and this is the best price to go all in. This is the best price to sell everything. That's what this chart says. And same thing for the last chart. All that you could say with the last chart is that this is the good time to buy, this time is a good time to sell, and according to this chart, it's a better time to buy than sell. So both of these charts are saying it's a better time to buy, although it still could possibly go down a lot more. Or like not a real lot more, but it could definitely go down more. After that, I look at the total market cap, and you could see this right here is the total market cap. Let me see if I'll probably have to pull this a little bit this way. So total market cap is going downward. It was all the way at $2.57 trillion, and now it's at $1.57 trillion. So it's literally $1 trillion less than what it was just last month. It's sort of freaking crazy, right? So what I could do is I could take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top and then look for the 61.8, and looking at this chart just right here, honestly, it does not look good. It doesn't look good. It looks bad because almost every single time what happens is the price comes down, hits the 61.8. You could see it did that, right? You could see there's a little wick right here, hits the 61.8, and then it comes back up and hits the 38.2 from the 61.8. It did that. And then a lot of the times it comes back down to reach the 61.8. So according to everything that I'm looking at so far within these three charts, this is the price that I would want to buy it at when the total market cap comes back down to let's say $1.24 trillion. This is where I want to buy. And you could, according to this Fibonacci level, this is the 61.8, hit it perfectly, and it bounced off the 38.2. If we go to the weekly, we could probably get a little bit of a better picture. And yeah, so basically, this is also what I was talking about before about selling too early, like after a big drop. Like we have this giant drop, like don't sell during this drop. Like sell, like look at the support resistance levels, and so I plotted this resistance level out, and I said sell your crypto here when it got to here. And so obviously everything bounced, and then we sold it right here, and now we're doing really well. So and still have a lot of USDT. Although now at this point right now I'm in Bitcoin, but this total market cap chart is making me think that it's not the final leg down for Bitcoin, that there might be another leg down. Once we get to Bitcoin, we will basically see what happens. But this is the total market cap. Total market cap on the daily, it's getting a very, very, very tight squeeze. So this was the high, this was a lower high, this was a higher high, so high, lower high, higher high. This was the low, lower low, higher low, and then higher low. And it's squeezing between these exponential moving averages and these moving averages, the really, really big ones, the really, really important ones. It's right on top of it, and these are huge supports. So on the daily, it looks like it's just consolidating to move back upwards, but there is there's definitely a possibility of it consolidating to make one final move down, and then sort of do something like that. Oh, wait, sorry, that's a little bit too much. Something like that. Double tap the 61.8, and then just like immediately just like boom up and start the new bull market pretty much. So you can't say anything because this entire top right here, this is all a top. This is all resistance. And this entire area down here is all support. And then this is like a secret support area. And we're in between resistance right here and support right here when it comes to the total market cap. So it could do whatever it wants in there. This is an accumulation phase. This is the phase where you should be learning, educating yourself, and not trying to just trade all the chop. And so that's the total for the total market cap. Total 2 is everything except for Bitcoin. And pretty much, if we look at the monthly, look at the weekly, take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, hit the 61.8 right here, came back up to 38.2. This was the resistance right here. This was the support right here. And it, dropped down, hit the support, bought back up, and now it's probably gonna come back down, I would think. I'm just not like so far the first two charts overall were like it could go either way, and the total market caps are looking bearish. So that's what we have so far. Let me just put this right here because this is sort of important. This is a resistance level, so I do want to have the resistance up. The RSI and the MACD are not really showing anything of significance, so you can't really use any of those indicators to tell what's going on. So let me label this red because this is a resistance, right? And this is pretty obvious that this is a resistance. You can see right here. So if alts, oh man, this is a terrible resistance. This is a very significant resistance, because if altcoins come up and reach this level, you get the horizontal and you get the diagonal. So you get double trouble. Whoops. You get double trouble right here. And that's not the place. That's not a good place. It's just not a good place. There's going to be all these bots, all these algorithmic traders that are just going to sell right here if it even comes back up and reaches that, because it did technically. It came back up, reached the resistance. I mean, on the daily here, you could argue that we're having something like higher low, higher low, higher low, and we're in this sort of like let me write this out. Like this right here. Gosh, come on. Like this is, and then this. So it's sort of like a triangle, and it's going up and down and up and down. I'm going to squeeze the triangle. Very real possibility. Also another real possibility, although technically it would probably be that. And that's what it's looking like. So crypto market cap's not looking too good. Let's look at the BLX, the Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin, because this is a new thing it's not a new thing. This is just another thing that I'm adding to my overall analysis, right? And you could see that since literally 2013, we've been in this period from 2013 after we busted through and we came back down, we touched it all the way up to December 2013 and down to 2015, back up to 2017, back up to March 2020, and then finally back up to here, and it reached above the midline and then dropped back down. So, you know, like technically, like this area up here, this is where I want to sell. This is where I will sell everything if it reaches this line. But we are all the way down here, so could it reach? It's not. I just don't see it doing that. I just don't see it. I don't see it coming below 20K. So the lowest I see is like 24. So maybe something like that. But this is a big picture thing. So this one is sort of bearish as well. Unfortunately, this one's a little bit bearish on the monthly, on the weekly. We do have 3 green candles, so maybe it's not as bearish as what we think. It's just not really showing a super clear picture. The only thing that it shows is that if it reaches this level over here, so looking like 46,000-ish to 48,000-ish, 46 to 48, that it might get rejected. So I guess let me just write that down. Okay, so I said that if it pumps up to 46 to 48K, it might get rejected from the midline, which is a total possibility. So maybe up to 48K, down to 30,000 again. I mean, why not, you know? Possibly up to 46 to 40K and then back down to 30. So let's look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. As you can see, Bitcoin dominance was super high, dropped all the way down low, came back up high, had some movement, and then came all the way back down to the very low. So Bitcoin dominance is at all time is very low. So when Bitcoin dominance is super low, you want to go into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is going to outperform altcoins. When Bitcoin dominance is super high, like how it is, you know, up there, you want to go into altcoins because Bitcoin dominance is going to drop and all the money is going to flow into alts. So we have this, and it's doing this weird movement. Just checking it. Yeah, it looks like Bitcoin is like you want to be in Bitcoin right now. This is a huge candle yesterday for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's looking really good. Altcoins not so hot against Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I would rather be in Bitcoin. And you could also see that looking at this chart. Well, let's go back to the other chart real quick. Basically, if it keeps going down, then alts will continue to move up. If it keeps going up, then alts will continue to go down, at least against Bitcoin, but it could go down USD as well. So that's, I just covered that. And yeah, I mean, usually it'll hit the 38.2 of the move down. So going from the top down to the bottom and then all the way back up to the 38.2. I don't see why not. I don't see why it wouldn't hit that. Bitcoin moves up a lot. Altcoins are stagnant. And then it hits this, the 200-day moving average, comes back down. The RSI and all these other things like end up lining up perfectly. Totally possible. Totally possible. So now moving on to altcoin dominance, which is literally the inverse of Bitcoin dominance. Pretty much going to go to the daily. Pretty much it reached 59-60%. And then had the huge sell-off, had the huge drop, popped all the way back up, and it's really like, man, I thought it was going to drop from here, but it ended up moving up a little bit higher and dropping, and it's not looking very good for alts. It's really not looking good for altcoins. So I will write that down. Okay, so it looks like it was a fake breakout. Alts are not looking very good against BTC, so I would not be in alts. Okay, so now that we have the big picture stuff out of the way, let's move on to Bitcoin. And looking at Bitcoin, we can see that it obviously came all the way up to $64,000, basically 64,829, and dropped all the way back down below the moving averages, below the exponential moving averages, below this big supports here, below this big resistance here, and yeah, so came all the way down, crashed, came back up, and got to right here, which was $42,300, and then basically fell back down, and it's been consolidating, and this looks like a downward, just continuation, downward, right? Like lower lows, lower low, 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 lower low, lower low, lower low, continuing to get lower lows. That's bearish. High, lower high, lower high. Wait, is this a lower high? Let's check. Close at 39,226. Close at 39,3. Yeah, low. High, lower high, lower high. And if this is the high, then this is a lower high. So yeah, this is just doesn't really look that good. In fact, it looks so, it doesn't look so bad, but it looks bad enough to the point where I'm going to close out my trade. So if I go back into the VIP, you can see I have this Bitcoin alert that went off 2 days ago. And basically, Bitcoin was up here, and we had a lot of Tether, a lot of USDT. And I said, hey, if it comes back down here, then get in. And the alert went off because I have my alerts hooked up for all my VIP members. Went off, we got in at the absolute bottom, came up, and we're up, 20, pretty much 20%. So I'm gonna just say I'm closing out my BTC trade here for around 20%, because I'm looking at the market right now, and I'm not totally liking it. But that's something that you get in the VIP, is you get like the alerts, which just totally been crushing it. Like Sol was the last one, and the alert went off. This was the price before resistance. I wonder what actually happened with Sol. Yeah, hit the resistance, sold it here, and then obviously it dropped back down and then came back up. So now it's back up. So now I need to decide, like, am I going to get back in or am I going to not? But at least we were able to secure some profits right here from getting in, you know, back here at like 21 bucks. So that's basically just a benefit that you get from the VIP. But if you don't have the VIP, you could join the free one, and you're probably in the free one already. I'm gonna try to put as much info as I can in the free group too. So that's Bitcoin. Let's move on to Ethereum. So when I look at ETH, basically what I see is ETH falling hard, bouncing up to resistance, falling hard again, bouncing up to resistance, falling again out of this into this triangle, and then falling below the triangle. Bearish. I'm bearish. So pretty much I'm bearish until it retests the basically 2000. So let me put an alert in here. Let me publish this and just do this. So I just put an alert in right here because you can see there's the moving averages and there's plenty of resistance turned into support right here. So I put an alert buy ETH, and it's gonna come off and go into the alerts whenever it does it. Yeah, I expect ETH to lose another 20%. I really don't expect it to come up. And this is something that you should have a limit order set for around $2,000 because it's not going to stay here for very long at all. And so that's pretty much the big picture. You saw the MV, RV score. You saw the Bitcoin rainbow chart. Both of those charts are at decent prices with more upside potential, but then looking at the actual charts, it looks like a little bit more bearish than bullish. So I'm really like just overall, I'm not in any big positions in my trading account that are long. I'm not in any long positions. I'm only shorting. Right now I'm in a short on Matic, and I am still considering shorting if anything pops up. And that's pretty much it for this week or today. You never really know what could happen with cryptocurrency. It changes so quickly, but that's my basically theory or market update for the big picture, and then Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I'm going to now go on to all of the altcoins, and then I guess I'll just like update all my altcoins in another market update to try to get like specific levels for them, and so that I could put my limit orders in and just, you know, sit back and wait. And yeah, I hope that this was helpful. I'm trying not to be some crazy moon boy and say, oh, we're going back up to new all-time highs. I'm not trying to make you FOMO. I'm not trying to make you have like crazy emotions in this market. I'm trying to just like plot out some really decent levels and then say, if it goes here, I'd go in. If it goes here, I'll go out, and really just try to do it like that. I hope you appreciate that. If you do, please give this a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe for more. Join the free Discord group if you want more updates in real time. Join the VIP if you want alerts to all of these trades that I put in these videos, plus a whole lot more. And I'll see you in the next video. So peace out, keep on stacking those sats. I hope you're having a great time. I'll talk to you later.